Everyone and their mother wants to know, what is the best setting spray? What is the best one? The best one. There has to be an ultimate one. What if I told you that there isn't? Straight up, there is no best setting spray. I have tried a bunch of different sprays, so you don't have to, but the real question isn't which is best, it's best for what? If you're new here, hi, my name is Megan. I've been doing makeup for 15 years. 13 of them I worked for MAC. The crazy part about that is back in the day, what was accessible to the public would have been like just MAC Fix Plus, which is a setting spray versus a fixing spray. That's a whole other conversation. I know a lot about a lot. I also know a lot of your experiences with products too. In this video today, I'm actually gonna tell you what I like personally about each one of these, which ones are in my kit versus which ones I actually use on my face. I know what you probably think I'm gonna say, but wait until you see which one wins in each category and why. So if you wanna see why every single one of these is actually the best and probably every single setting spray you have is the best, please keep on watching. I absolutely loathe the term the best. What is the best this? I cringe when I see it. I see it in my comment section, people say it to me. What's your best blank at MAC all the time? What's your best mascara? What's your best this? What's your best that? Best can mean popular or most talked about, but because of the age of the internet and virality and how fast TikTok and content moves, that no longer, I'm realizing this as I'm saying it, that no longer applies. Back in the day, yes, because the best would have to come from what's the most user-friendly product, right? What's the most this, but like even back then, you could still get it down to the nitty-gritty and customize it for you. Best depends on the problem that you're solving. I cannot stress that enough. The best thing for you depends on the problem you're solving. So if you don't know the problem that you're solving in your makeup routine, therefore you can never find what the best thing is. If you're just chasing the best thing that you're told, that's why you have, raise your hand, you have a drawer full of product that you bought because you were told online that it was the best. So I know what you're gonna say. You're Megan, you just said that every single one of these is the best. Yes, because they all solve a different problem for me. They all do something extremely different, which is why I can have all them because I use all them for different reasons. They are not competing with each other. They cooperate with the rest of my routine. Let me just start off with, I have also used the Morphe setting spray, the Morphe Jeffree Star setting spray, and the Charlotte Tilbury spray when it came out. I returned all of them. It didn't suit my needs. It didn't suit how I liked my makeup to look. It didn't suit how it sat on my skin. That Charlotte Tilbury one is probably one of the most popular ones. However, you sort of have to ask yourself, like, why is it popular? I am extremely tempted by the new matte one because of one of my Revival Crew members was telling me about it, but I will get there. Let's actually just do a little bit of separation for a second. Setting sprays are things like hydrating sprays, the ones that melt your makeup into the skin, melt your product together, love it, lock it in. That is what a setting spray is. A fixing spray are the ones that create that seal on the skin where you can't really work on top of them. They're a little bit more intense. They tend to be that transfer proof, waterproof kind of scenario. That's a fixing spray. Now, if you've heard the opposite, respectfully, I don't care. That's fine. Just reverse the categories. The functionality is still the same. Just swap the names. If it means something different to you, that's fine. Okay? Done. I never, ever, there's two products in the world that I tell people that they need because they are game changing. That is Fix Plus. It's iconic for a reason. So this is a setting spray. This is a setting spray. It never used to say setting spray on it until 2015 or 2016 when Sephora came to Canada or popped off and makeup on the internet popped off and things like that. But it never used to say that. And I remember when, and the terms at that time were that setting sprays were like fixing sprays. That's why so many people got confused because they're like, but it's called Fix Plus, but it's a setting spray. But when you really think about it, you really strip it back down, this was all we had. There was never a scenario where we were doing makeup and our makeup wasn't lasting. All we were using was Fix Plus. This is my #1 makeup product in the whole entire world. Every makeup artist needs it. Every regular person needs it. I don't care. And please spare me. You can make your own. There's other ones. That's fine. That's great. That's amazing. I love that for you. But I'm talking about Fix Plus. So this is a hydrating spray. This is what's going to love it and lock it in. You love your makeup. You want to hold it there. You want it to sit. You want it to melt. Paper mache, right? Or my lasagna reference, noodle, meat, cheese, noodle, meat, cheese. That's why you keep repeating your layers. Thin layers with Fix Plus. So this is a hydrating spray. Glycerin, green tea, cucumber, chamomile. So it'll soothe the skin as well. I need this to control the texture as I work. So if anything does something different, I can change it up. I can When I love it, I lock it in, but it's telling my skin like I'm not done. She's gonna keep working on her skin. So just hold this in place while she continues to put more makeup on. So this is the best for me for that specific need. That I have personally, that I also have in my kit. I never felt the need to have a fixing spray. And then Stayover came along, and the reason I realized like, oh, I can use this is because it still has those original Fix Plus properties. I'm just actually reading this now for the first time. Long lasting setting spray. Like I've read it before, but you know when it just like doesn't connect. Long lasting setting spray. This has PVP in it, so that's a film former. That is what seals the makeup to the skin. The cool thing about this is it's alcohol free. Oh, I've also used the Urban Decay one. No, thank you. My least favorite because of, again, how it feels on the skin. This one is alcohol free. It's often that the thing that you need, like the PVP or the film form or whatever is sealing your makeup to the skin, usually needs alcohol as its carrier in order to get it to stay on your skin. So it needs to come out that way. This one is alcohol free, so you get that effect, that long lasting effect without the alcohol. I don't ever want to put alcohol sprays on my skin. Not ever. No, no, no. It's gonna reverse all of my wonderful skincare that I do, and it's gonna not be great. The thing that I like about this is my face tends to eat blush sometimes. Like the blush will fade. That's why I would always put so much blush on. That could also be, oh, that answers my own question. I was like, why has my blush not been blushing? I haven't been using this because the nozzle broke for the millionth time. Please fix it. But I like this when I have a lot of color on my cheek or I'm laying things down because I'm going to spray this at the end so that the color stops fading. So that is the best for somebody that would want something similar. This is the One Size Powder Melt Glass Setting Spray. I've done a video on this already. I love this, and the ingredients listed on here, I need to look something up. Oh, it's out of stock on Sephora. Oh, see, I didn't even know that. Ceramide complex. Oh, I'm a huge fan of ceramide. Okay, wait, I need to, right, this is PVP too. Okay, so same thing, no alcohol in this, and it does something different for me compared to the other ones. So you're like, well, this is just kind of like Fix Plus then, isn't it? No, because of the finish that it leaves, and because it is more of that, like, I don't qualify it as glass-like skin to me. However, the dewy wetness that happens from it, I am always going to reach for this when I have too much of a matte base down. So when I'm fooling around with my foundations and stuff and I put more powder down than I actually wanted, or I'm using Studio Fix fluid, or I really just did like a matte heavier look, I need something to penetrate that. I'm gonna pick this one up because that's gonna be the best to melt those powders into my skin. Yes, Fix Plus can do that, but sometimes at the end, I just need that extra zhuzh. And I had mentioned in the other video that Fix Plus absorbs into the skin and becomes one with it. This still leaves sort of that veil, and that's because of the PVP and just like the way that they've done it. So I'm gonna use this specifically on the days that I've put way too much matte product down, way too much full coverage product down. But I'm also gonna use them together because I'm gonna use this throughout the process, this at the end. So guess what? This is also the best for that need specifically. If I came on here and said like, this is the best setting spray I've ever used in my life, and you're so oily and your goal was to have a matte finish, and you just heard this is the best, now I just told you that it's sold out on Sephora, there's a high chance that you're gonna go and be like, I need to have that. And you're gonna be highly disappointed. But it's the best for that specific reason. I had tried this, it was actually on TikTok probably like 2 summers ago when I used it and I sprayed it and I looked at myself, I said, something is very wrong here. And it was the spray. Again, this leaves a veil on my skin that I don't like. It almost looks like saran wrap, and it dulls, for me, how I like my skin to look. So it almost undoes everything that I sort of do and didn't make it look as pretty. It's the same reason I returned the Charlotte Tilbury one, the Morphe setting spray one, and this. They are not the best for what I want them to do. It could still be the best setting spray you ever use. I know that people love this, but it just doesn't hit those marks that I need it to hit. So it's not that it's bad, it's that it was like wrong package delivered. And you know what it probably works best with? Other Milani product. This has become a fan favorite for me for a multitude of different reasons. This is like a liquefied powder spray. So the Matte Fix Plus has alcohol in it because again, it needs that to carry that out. Danessa has some to the future technology in her products, and I use this more as like a mixing medium. Hear me out. I use this across my eyes if I'm wearing like a cream eyeshadow to set it. I've used it to prep my under eye to smooth it out. I've sprayed brushes with it to make product long wearing. And then I've also just like sprayed it. I've prepped the skin with it and used it as a liquefied powder. And then I've also just used it at the end like a setting spray throughout the center. It does make me a little bit more matte. So I just told you I hate being matte. So why would I use that? I would use it when I've made my skin extremely shiny and maybe the weather is a little bit hot. So I need to offset the things that are going on. I don't have a routine that's just like, I have a routine that's locked in, but it's adjustable and customizable to whatever is going on. The weather, the amount of product that I put on, the way that I set it, the way that I layered it. Like there's so many different reasons why. So if I have like an extremely shiny looking face, I can't go in and add the powder melt spray that's gonna make it like shiny in the wrong spaces. What I can do is just hit this in the center where I don't want to be shiny and call it a day. So is this the best setting spray? I don't know that though. But what I do know is that it is the best for me when my skin is too shiny. And the surrounding piece to this, oh, also really quickly, if you're just like, I've never considered makeup this way, and you want like a refresher and new eyes on makeup and on your collections, make sure you hit the link in my description and join my school community. It is totally free to join. And you'll have more of these moments over there as well. Overarching thing here that I really want to drive home for you guys is I understand the needs that I have and I understand how I need my makeup to look, which is what dictates which I use. Now, these three I don't use on myself. These are in my kit because these are the fixing sprays. I recommend using a fixing spray on your face every single day. And I don't need longevity or transfer proof makeup. Like my routine on its own lasts, it doesn't come off. I don't care. Like I can touch my face and it's my skin. It's not makeup and it's not peeling off. I don't want a rock hard, like, I don't like rock hard makeup. Like I want my skin to move with the makeup. I bought this because one of my clients likes it when she goes out, but also I was doing her wedding. I put her in another video, Until Dawn. So this one to me is more controversial because of the butane and then the alcohol. Like that's too much. Oh, I've also used the L'Oreal Infallible spray. I ended up returning that one too. Actually, no, I gave that away. I couldn't return. I bought it in the UK before it launched in North America. Same thing. I could feel it on my skin. I could feel that seal. I don't like that. I don't want it. These are the ones that are more intense. These are the ones that are more of that like bulletproof kind of formula. This is what I would, just for like extra security for things like a wedding, that's like, yep, just spray it. So I bought this when I was in Vegas because my setting spray broke. And so this is the Kimchi Stage Proof setting spray. See, they call this one setting. This is alcohol too, just a regular sprayer. This is why I understand why you guys get confused when you're reading things online. Because now I'm like, do I take back what I said at the beginning of the video? But no, I'm still gonna stick with what I said. So anyways, so on her, we used this one first and then locked it in with this because this one has still, there's glycerin in this, I think. This was my wedding combo on her, melting everything as we're using it. The first seal, the final seal, because you can layer them. And then I bought this one because I used it on Courtney for her show. And then this, I believe, is the Beyonce duo. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like it is. But anyways, I did Courtney's makeup from the band Spirit Box for her show here. This is what she likes to use. So we did Until Dawn and then Krylin on top. And you do these things in other aspects too, like even if you think about hair, like you don't just use hairspray. Some of you might, but you use a heat protectant and maybe you use a serum, like a hair serum or hair oil, and then you use hairspray. Maybe you use a brushable hairspray for some parts and then a teasing hairspray for other parts. It's the exact same thing with these setting sprays and with these fixing sprays. What is the best changes when your goal changes. So if you don't know what your goal is, that's when you're gonna have trouble figuring out what is the best for you. So your daytime makeup versus your evening makeup, when you're dewy versus when you're matte. And you might not be like me, where I have different styles of routines or different ways of elevating my routines based on the weather, based on how I need something to look. You might have like just one solid routine that you never change, you just leave it as is, and that is cool. So what spray is going to best set or meet your needs? If I was to make any type of recommendation, because I generally don't, because I need to spend time with people to understand, you know, what their goals are and how their routines work and things like that. But it's Fix Plus throughout, and then something to seal, whatever that seal might be. So right now for me, going into winter, like, I think this is my holy grail that rotates. Like, this is a forever. This, because it's dry. This to seal literally just this section here. I'm using setting sprays as an example, but this literally applies to everything. What's the best long wear lipstick? What's the best lipstick for me? What's the best lip gloss? What's the best eyeshadow? You have to ask yourself, like, what do you want the product to do? And like, what makes it you? What makes it your makeup? Glitter is another one too. What's the best glitter? This is better than this. People love to tell me that all the time. I'll say why I love something, and like I'm 10 toes down about what I like. And they're like, well, this is better. But better for who? It's not for me, because I already told you. This one already hits all my needs. And this is how you also develop benchmark brands as well too. So the standard is what you compare all these things to, so you can have the conversation with yourself about what is the best. And the key thing that I just said there that probably a lot of you missed is the conversations that you're having with yourself, not your friend's opinion about something. When you put the product on, when you have your goal and you find the product and you put the product, when you have your routine and you have the goal and you find the product and you put the product on, you just have to go, did that hit my goal? You don't go and ask your friend, does this look good? You can ask that after if you need to. I don't think that you need to, unless you get specific about it, where you're like, I wanted this to look more blank. Do you think that this looks more blank? And you have a comparison. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite setting spray or fixing spray is. If this blew your mind in any way, let me know what is your biggest takeaway from this as well. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a post. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram so you don't miss any Miss Megan news. Join my school community. It is free to join at the link in my description so that you can reevaluate and elevate your current makeup routine. Don't be late for school, and until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.